Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into a sport that, on the surface, looks like a nice, calm walk in a beautifully manicured park. But really, it's an incredibly complex game of strategy, physics, and, maybe most of all, mental toughness. We are talking, of course, about the world of golf.
Yeah, you've probably heard that old joke, right? That golf is just a good walk spoiled. But behind that quiet exterior, there's a game packed with unbelievable drama, some really cool traditions, and, let's be honest, some pretty fascinating rules. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really get to the heart of how it all works, from a single swing to the biggest pro tournaments in the world.
Okay, first things first. Let's start with the absolute bedrock of the game. What are you even trying to do out there? It all boils down to one super simple idea.
This is what makes golf so different. Think about basketball, football, soccer. You always want the highest score. Not in golf. Here, the lowest score wins. Every single time you swing and hit the ball, that counts as one stroke. The person who gets through the whole course using the fewest strokes, that's your winner. It's as simple as that.
So how do you know what a good score actually is? Well, that's where this magic word par comes into play. Par is basically the target score for each hole. It's the number of shots a really skilled golfer is expected to take to finish that hole. It becomes the benchmark that everyone, from a weekend player to a pro, measures themselves against.
Now, what's really interesting is how par is decided. It's almost all about distance. A par 3, that's a short hole. The goal is to hit your first shot onto the green, that super nice patch of grass with the flag, and then take 2 putts to sink the ball. A par 4 is longer, so the expectation is 2 shots to get to the green plus those 2 putts. And a par 5? Well, that's the longest of them all, so it's 3 shots to the green and, you guessed it, 2 putts.
Okay, here's where it gets fun. Scoring better or worse than par comes with its own completely unique and kind of quirky vocabulary. This is where the sport really starts to show off its personality.
You've got to know the lingo to follow along. Making par means you hit the target score exactly. A birdie is 1 shot better than par. That's what the pros are hunting for on every hole. An eagle is 2 strokes under, which is an amazing result. And then there's the albatross, 3 under par. That's so rare it's almost mythical. On the flip side, a bogey is 1 over par, and a double bogey is 2 over.
All right, so now we know how to score 1 hole, but how do you win an entire game of golf? Well, and this is so important, your strategy completely flips depending on the format you're playing.
So there are 2 main ways to play. Stroke play is what you see in most professional tournaments. It's a total marathon. Every single shot over 18 holes gets added up. A single, disastrous hole can absolutely destroy your score for the day. But match play? It's a series of head-to-head sprints. You're just trying to win each individual hole. If you have a terrible hole, who cares? You just lose that 1 point and you move on to the next. It's all about winning more holes than your opponent.
And then there's Stableford. This is a brilliant format that's a lot more forgiving, and it actually encourages you to play more aggressively. Instead of counting strokes, you get points for your score on a hole. A birdie might get you 3 points, a par gets you 2, and so on. If you have a really bad hole, you just get 0 points for it. No big deal. You don't have a giant number ruining your scorecard. And get this, in Stableford, the highest score wins.
Of course, things don't always go according to plan. What happens when you hit your ball out of bounds, or into a lake, or you just can't find it? Well, you don't get a free do-over, you get penalty strokes added to your score. These are kind of like the basic rules of the road that keep the game fair when your shot goes a little sideways.
Okay, so we've got the rules and the scoring down. Now let's zoom out and look at the absolute peak of the sport. The 4 tournaments that every single pro golfer dreams of winning. These are the events that make or break a career.
The entire pro golf calendar is built around these 4 tournaments, which we call the majors. It kicks off in April with the legendary Masters tournament. Then in May, you've got the PGA Championship. June brings the US Open, which is famous for being set up on brutally difficult courses. And the season wraps up in July with the Open Championship, the oldest one of them all.
I mean, to win just one of these is a life-changing moment. But to win all 4 of them over your career? That's called the Career Grand Slam. It's the mark of true, undeniable greatness. Only a handful of legends, guys like Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, have ever done it. It basically punches your ticket into golf immortality.
But hey, golf isn't always just an individual sport. A few times a year, all those personal rivalries get put on hold. Players team up to play for their country or their continent,
And the atmosphere becomes absolutely electric.
The two biggest team events in men's golf are the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup. The Ryder Cup pits a team from the USA against the best from Europe, and honestly, it's one of the most intense and passionate rivalries in all of sports. The President's Cup is pretty similar, but it's the USA against an international team made up of the best players from the rest of the world, just not Europe.
What makes these events so much fun are the different formats they play. In foursomes, two teammates hit the same ball, taking turns. You have to totally trust your partner. In fourball, both players on a team play their own ball, so one guy can play it safe while the other goes for broke. And then, on the final day, it all comes down to singles matches, pure one-on-one combat, with everything on the line.
All right, let's bring this right into the present day, because in just the last few years, the entire world of professional golf has been thrown into chaos. It's been completely turned upside down by a brand new tour that's created this massive rivalry for the best players and for our attention. So you've got the historic PGA Tour on one side and the new kid on the block, Live Golf, on the other, and they are fundamentally different. The PGA Tour plays traditional 72-hole tournaments over 4 days, and they have a cut, which means half the players go home after 2 rounds. Live Golf is all about being faster, 54 holes over 3 days, smaller fields, and no one gets cut. They also have a shotgun start, so everyone starts at the same time. Plus, Live has a team competition happening right alongside the individual race. It's really two competing philosophies for what golf should be.
So in just a few minutes, we've gone from understanding par on a single hole all the way to this massive global fight at the top of the professional game. This huge disruption has left everybody, fans, players, you name it, all asking the exact same question. With these two clashing visions, what does the future of professional golf actually look like? And right now, that is the biggest, most fascinating question in the entire sport.